Madonna walked into her dressing room 30 minutes before her biggest show of the year, expecting to find her usual pre-show setup. Instead, she found a complete stranger sitting in her chair, holding a letter that would change everything she thought she knew about her past. It was March 18, 2006, at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Madonna was headlining her Confessions tour, and tonight's show was being recorded for a live album. The venue was sold out with 20,000 fans, and backstage was buzzing with the usual pre-show energy. Madonna's pre-show routine was sacred and never varied. She would enter her dressing room exactly 30 minutes before curtain, spend 15 minutes in meditation and vocal warm-ups, then 15 minutes getting into costume and having final touch-ups with hair and makeup. But when she opened her dressing room door that night, her routine came to a complete stop. Sitting in Madonna's chair, facing the mirror, was a woman in her early 60s with graying hair and worn clothes that suggested she traveled a long way to be there. She looked tired, nervous, but determined. More unsettling was what she held in her hands, a yellowed envelope that looked like it had been kept in a drawer for decades. Madonna's first instinct was to call security, but something about the woman made her pause. There was something familiar in her posture, something in the way she sat that triggered a memory Madonna couldn't quite place. "Excuse me," Madonna said, trying to keep her voice calm. "How did you get in here? This is a restricted area." The woman turned around slowly, and when Madonna saw her face, she felt like she'd been punched in the stomach. The woman had Madonna's eyes, not similar eyes, the exact same eyes, down to the small golden flecks around the pupils that Madonna had inherited from her father's side of the family. "Hello, Madonna. My name is Catherine Fortin. I think I might be your sister." Madonna's knees went weak. She grabbed the doorframe to steady herself, staring at this woman who looked like an older, weathered version of herself.
"That's impossible," Madonna managed to say. "I know all my siblings. My father would have told me." Catherine held up the letter. "Your father didn't know about me either, not until recently." Madonna's mind was racing. Her father, Tony Ciccone, had remarried after her mother died when Madonna was 5. She had half-siblings from that marriage, but they were all accounted for. This woman was claiming to be something that couldn't exist. "I don't understand," Madonna said, closing the door behind her. "Who are you? What do you want?" Catherine's voice was gentle but insistent. "I want to tell you about your mother. The real story about your mother that no one ever told you." Catherine held out the yellowed envelope. "This arrived at your father's house 3 months ago. It's from a woman named Sister Margaret at St. Mary's Hospital in Bay City, Michigan. She's 93 years old, and she's been carrying this secret since 1958. Madonna took the envelope with shaking hands. The return address was indeed from Bay City, her mother's hometown, where Madonna herself had been born. "What does it say?" Madonna whispered. "It says that your mother, Louise, had a baby in 1954, a baby she gave up for adoption because she was only 16 and unmarried. That baby was me." Madonna felt the room spinning. "You're saying my mother had a child before she married my father?" "Before she met your father," Catherine corrected. "She was just a scared teenager who got pregnant and did what she thought was best. She gave me up and never told anyone, not your father, not her family, not even you kids." Madonna sank into a chair, staring at the letter. "Why now? Why are you telling me this now?" "Because Sister Margaret is dying," Catherine said. "She delivered both of us, me in 1954 and you in 1958. She's been the keeper of this secret for almost 50 years, and she couldn't take it to her grave. She tracked down your father and told him everything." There was a sharp knock on the dressing room door. "Madonna, 10 minutes to places," came the voice of her stage manager. Madonna looked at Catherine, then at the door. She was supposed to be getting ready for the biggest show of her tour, but instead she was facing a family revelation that turned her entire understanding of her life upside down. "Madonna, you okay in there?" Another knock, more insistent. "I'm fine," Madonna called out, but her voice cracked. "I need 5 more minutes." She looked at Catherine. "How do I know you're telling the truth? How do I know you're not just some elaborate con artist?" Catherine reached into her purse and pulled out a small, faded photograph. It showed a young woman who looked exactly like Madonna at the same age, holding a baby. "This is your mother holding me when I was 3 days old, before she gave me up. Look at her face, Madonna. You have her exact face." Madonna stared at the photograph, and there was no denying it. The woman in the picture was undeniably her mother, but a version of her mother she'd never seen. Younger, scared, but with the same gentle expression Madonna remembered from her childhood. "Tell me everything," Madonna said, ignoring another knock on the door. Catherine's voice was steady as she began. "Your mother kept this secret her entire life. She met your father 2 years after giving me up, and she never told him about me. She was terrified he wouldn't accept her if he knew." "But why didn't she ever try to contact you?" "She did." Catherine pulled out more papers from her purse. "She hired a private investigator when you were about 10 years old. She found out I was doing well. I'd been adopted by a good family, had a stable life. She decided not to disrupt that." Catherine's voice grew softer. "But she never stopped thinking about me. According to Sister Margaret, your mother used to come to the hospital chapel every year on my birthday and light a candle for me." Madonna felt tears starting to form. "She never told us about that."
"There's more," Catherine continued. "Your mother left instructions with Sister Margaret. If anything ever happened to her, Sister Margaret was supposed to find me and make sure I knew the truth about where I came from." Madonna's breath caught. "But you said Sister Margaret waited until now." "Because your mother also left another instruction. She didn't want me contacted until you were old enough and successful enough to handle the truth. She was protecting both of us." Another knock, this one urgent. "Madonna, we need you for sound check. The audience is getting restless." Madonna looked at her watch. She was supposed to be on stage in 20 minutes, but she felt like her entire world had been turned upside down. "I can't perform tonight," she said to Catherine. "This is too much. I need time to process this." Catherine shook her head. "Your mother wouldn't want you to cancel a show because of me. She was incredibly proud of your success. Sister Margaret said she had newspaper clippings of every major moment in your career." "How would you know what my mother would want?" Madonna asked, but without anger. "Because I've spent the last 3 months learning everything I could about her, and about you. I didn't just show up here randomly, Madonna. I've been trying to figure out if I should contact you at all." Catherine stood up from the chair. "But when I heard this show was being recorded for an album, I knew tonight was the right time. Your mother always said music was the most honest form of communication." Madonna stared at her reflection in the mirror, seeing her mother's face staring back at her, but now understanding it in a completely new way. "What do you want from me? What do you expect to happen here?" Catherine's answer surprised her. "Nothing. I don't want anything from you. I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want to be part of your life if you don't want me there. I just wanted you to know that you have a sister who spent her whole life wondering about the family she came from." She paused, then added, "And I wanted you to know that our mother loved you so much that she carried this secret for 30 years to protect you from feeling like you weren't her first priority." Madonna felt something shift inside her chest. "You're saying she kept quiet about you for me? For all of you kids? She didn't want you to feel like she had divided loyalties or that there was some part of her heart that belonged to someone else." Another knock, this one from her security team. "Madonna, we really need you out here." Madonna looked at Catherine, then at the photograph of her mother, then at her own reflection in the mirror. "I have to do this show. 20,000 people are waiting, and this is being recorded. I can't cancel." Catherine nodded. "I understand. I'll go." "No," Madonna said quickly. "Stay. Watch the show. We'll talk afterward." Catherine looked surprised. "Are you sure?" Madonna was quiet for a moment, then said, "My mother kept you a secret to protect me, but maybe it's time to stop protecting each other and start being honest." She called out to her security team, Give me 2 more minutes, then send in hair and makeup, and arrange for a VIP seat for my guest." Madonna took the stage that night carrying emotions she'd never experienced before. The knowledge that her mother had loved another child, had made an impossible sacrifice, had carried a secret for decades, it all translated into her performance in ways she hadn't expected. When she sang Crazy for You, she was thinking about her mother as a 16-year-old girl making an impossible decision. When she performed Ray of Light, she was thinking about Catherine, growing up wondering about her biological family. But it was during Live to Tell that something magical happened. As Madonna sang the lyrics about family secrets and hidden truths, she spotted Catherine in the VIP section. Their eyes met across the arena, and Madonna realized she was singing these words to her sister for the first time. The performance became more than just a concert. It became a confession, an acknowledgement of family bonds that had existed for decades without being spoken. After the show, Madonna found Catherine waiting in the VIP lounge, tears streaming down her face. "That was incredible," Catherine said. "I've never seen anything like that." "It felt different," Madonna admitted. "Knowing you were watching, knowing what I now know about Mom, it changed how I heard my own songs." They sat together in the quiet lounge while the arena emptied. "What happens now?" Madonna asked. Catherine smiled. "Now we get to know each other, if you want to. I'd like to hear stories about our mother that only you would know. And maybe I can tell you things about yourself that make more sense now that you know about me." Madonna looked at this woman who was a stranger, but also family, who had disrupted her biggest night, but also given her the greatest gift. "There's something I want to show you," Madonna said. She pulled out her phone and scrolled to a photo of herself with her children. "These are your nieces and nephews, and I think it's time they learned they have another aunt." 3 hours after Madonna had walked into her dressing room expecting a routine pre-show preparation, she walked out with a sister she'd never known existed and a completely new understanding of her mother's love.
Catherine had brought more than just a letter and a photograph. She'd brought stories about their mother's teenage years, details about the family Madonna had never known, and most importantly, proof that love doesn't always look the way we expect it to. "Mom protected both of us," Madonna said as they prepared to leave the arena. "She protected me from feeling like I wasn't enough, and she protected you from feeling unwanted." Catherine nodded. "And now we get to honor that protection by choosing to be family." For the next 6 months, Madonna and Catherine kept their relationship private while they got to know each other. Catherine was a nurse from Michigan who'd raised 3 children and lived a quiet life, never seeking attention or fame. But when Madonna's father confirmed the story and welcomed Catherine into the family, the secret was finally complete. The sister Louise Ciccone had given up in 1954 was embraced by the daughter she'd raised to be a global superstar. Madonna eventually shared the story publicly, but on her own terms and in her own time. She spoke about it as a lesson in how love sometimes requires sacrifice and how family bonds can exist even when they're not acknowledged. Today, Catherine is a regular part of Madonna's family gatherings, and she's developed close relationships with all of her half-siblings. But she's maintained her privacy and her normal life, appearing at family events but staying out of the public eye. Madonna has said that meeting Catherine changed how she understood her mother's capacity for love. "I always thought my mother's love was divided among 6 children," she said in a later interview. "But learning about Catherine made me realize that love doesn't get divided, it multiplies." The photograph of their mother holding baby Catherine now sits on Madonna's desk, next to photos of her own children. It serves as a reminder that family stories are more complicated than we think, and that sometimes the greatest acts of love are the ones that remain hidden. The letter from Sister Margaret, which started this entire revelation, is framed in Madonna's home with a simple inscription. Some secrets are kept out of love, but truth is always the greater gift. If this incredible story of family secrets and hidden love moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Share this video with someone who might need to hear about the complexity of family love and the power of truth. Have you ever discovered something about your family that changed everything you thought you knew? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more amazing true stories about the secrets that shape our lives.